Here at the end of chapter 30, two things are happening. This is the day of the great slaughter, but it's also the day that the Lord bindeth up the breach of his people. As Babylon falls, the covenant people build Zion. Isaiah says, "Behold, the name of the Lord cometh from far, burning with his anger, and the burden thereof is heavy. His lips are full of indignation, and his tongue as a devouring fire." Over the millennia, the Lord has mostly held his peace, letting people exercise their agency to help or hurt others. But now, in the day of the Lord, he will come forth and cry like a travailing woman, and will destroy and devour at once. The Lord will use natural disasters to destroy the wicked, but he'll also use his servant, the branch, to slay the wicked. Notice the word links here and in the next verse of lips and breath. These connect all these events with his latter-day servant, the branch, and we see that in 2 Nephi 21, 1 through 4, or in Isaiah 11, 1 through 4. Then Isaiah continues, "And his breath as an overflowing stream shall reach to the midst of the neck, to sift the nations with the sieve of vanity. And there shall be a bridle in the jaws of the people, causing them to err." The Lord will sift the nations with the sieve of vanity. In Hebrew, vanity doesn't just mean ego or focusing on one's appearance. The Hebrew word hebel means vapor or mist, and in the Bible it's used to communicate transience or futility. The Latter-day Saint Bible Dictionary also says that vanity means falsehood or deceit. All of these meanings apply. In the last days, debilitating falsehoods will deceive the people, causing many to support and even die for false agendas. Paul says that in the last days, God shall send them strong delusion that they should believe a lie. No doubt this has already begun. Isaiah says that there shall be a bridle in the jaws of the people, causing them to err. The Assyrian king is that bridle. According to John the Beloved, this beast causes a mark to be placed on survivors' hands or forehead, without which they cannot buy or sell. And now, says Isaiah, God will use these deceptions to sift the nations. People will either prove their love of light and truth, or their love of sin and darkness by the beliefs they follow. Then Isaiah does something rather annoying, something he often does. He switches subjects without a transition, without telling us that's what he's doing. After saying that the sieve of vanity will cause people to err, he suddenly says this, "Ye shall have a song, as in the night when a holy solemnity is kept, and gladness of heart, as when one goeth with a pipe to come into the mountain of the Lord, to the mighty one of Israel." Fortunately, other translations come to the rescue. The New Living Translation says, "But the people of God will sing a song of joy, like the songs at the holy festivals. You will be filled with joy, as when a flutist leads a group of pilgrims to Jerusalem, the mountain of the Lord, to the rock of Israel." So Isaiah has moved on to the people of God, to those who follow the truth. While the world is suffering, the people of God are rejoicing in the mountain of the Lord in Zion. Then, again without transition, Isaiah switches back to the Assyrian, and yet another translation helps us with that. Jehovah will cause his voice to resound and make visible his arm descending in furious rage, with flashes of devouring fire, explosive discharges, and pounding hail. At the voice of Jehovah, the Assyrians will be terror-stricken, they who used to strike with the rod. At every sweep of the staff of authority, when Jehovah lowers it upon them, they will be fought in mortal combat. In other words, the Lord will use all forms of violence to destroy the wicked, while blessing the righteous. The Lord is warning us that his wrath will in fact be unleashed on earth. Isaiah concludes this chapter by saying that God will bring the tyrant to Tophet, a place of burning. For a burning place was arranged long ago. Yea, it was prepared for the king. Its pyre was made deep and wide, with much fire and wood. The breath of the Lord, like a stream of brimstone, sets fire to it. The Lord will allow the Assyrian to rule and reign for a while, but then the tyrant will be destroyed by the breath of the Lord like a stream of brimstone. So we come to the end of chapter 30. where the Lord places a woe upon his rebellious children who rely upon the government for protection, who distrust the prophets, and all this happens when the earth is hurled out of her place, and when the beast is led to consuming fire. Next time, Isaiah again indicts his people for relying on Egypt rather than him for protection in the last days. I'm Curtis Taylor with the Words of Isaiah.